Hello and welcome. Let's talk today about why you or your company should choose Odoo for your manufacturing processes. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Odoo manufacturing. First off, I'm going to explain why companies actually do have a need for the Odoo manufacturing application. I will go over a brief workflow on how we're going to show this process in the demo system. Then we're going to go through the demo process, and then we're going to round it up with a conclusion. Why do companies, or why do you actually need Odoo manufacturing? There are a couple of questions a CEO or owner or the lead in the manufacturing will ask themselves every day. So what are my production costs? What are my bottlenecks? How can I ensure a high quality standard for my clients? And can I provide proficient updates to my customers? For example, if a sales order is keen to run late, then you should be able to provide efficient information to the client to show them like, hey, we're going to make it on time. This is where we're standing. Exactly. So for the workflow for today, we're going to start the process with a sale order. So a customer is going to purchase a product. Then I'm gonna briefly show you on how we're gonna create an MO in Odoo, show a little bit on what's behind this MO, meaning the BOM structure and the work center connected with it. Then sadly, we don't have those products or the raw material in stock yet, so we're gonna end up needing to purchase those as well. As soon as we have the products, we can already start planning and then produce the product. And finally, to assure the high standard, which we promise to our customer, we're going to have a quality check just to make sure that everything is as promised to the customer. Perfect. Let's jump into the demo system. Here we are, as promised. So we're going to go into sales, create a new sales order. The customer is going to be just a customer. And here we're going to sell him a gas grill. I can save it. And directly here, I can already see that right now, well, I don't have this gas grill on stock, and there is no planned availability so quite soon. So I need to build this. But before that, let's just confirm this order to the customer by confirming. So then let's go to manufacturing, operation, manufacturing orders, and create the manufacturing order for the mentioned product. So it was a gas grill, and the customer ordered one. Save it. Right now we can already see here the list of components, all the materials we need. But sadly, we can see here that we don't have any of those on stock either. Just the aluminum plate we do actually have on stock, so that's a good thing. But let's confirm the manufacturing order as well, and already plan it. We can use this plan button here, and then the system will automatically plan this manufacturing order to the earliest possible time slot. Or I can also go here and then plan by production or work center. Let's do it by production. I only have this one manufacturing order in here, as you can see here, but there are different work centers connected to it. I will jump into this in a second. And from here, we can still move those manufacturing orders from today to tomorrow, or we could even go a little bit deeper and just schedule it for today if there's a different time slot open. But I guess for this today is sufficient. So let's have a look at the product. So here I have all the materials, raw materials, and then the product where we have the BOM behind it. As we saw earlier, here we have the list of all the components we would need to produce this gas grill with the quantities. Behind that, we have the operations. So in order to produce this gas grill, well, I need to drill a couple of holes then bend the aluminum, and the final step basically is the assembly. Behind all of those operations, I already did some estimation before we actually started the manufacturing on how much time I actually would end up needing. So I populated those values here. But just to give you an idea, if we go to the work center, jump a little bit deeper, we can also set up cost of the machine we're using for the production. So right now here, I set up an hourly cost per machine or for the work center of 20 bucks. And then our employees gonna roughly cost 30 bucks as well while they're operating the machine. I also added equipment here. So on the drilling station, we have a drill, which is currently still good to go. But theoretically, if we need to change the drill, let's say every week or every month, we could set up alerts here so that we get notified when we have to change anything. Perfect. On the operation, I also let a little note, drill holes. I did not put in any measurements, but as you can see here, we can also add PDFs or Google Slide to make the process as efficient for the employee so he doesn't need to go anywhere to ask questions. He has all the information he needs directly on the work center, but we will see this in a second. After I populated all those information, coming to the first question on what are my production costs, I can open here the BOM overview. And here I have a nice overview again of all the components. I could have multiple levels of BOMs here. And the system is also telling me like how I receive my components. So all of those are being purchased. Just the main gas grill is the one we're gonna manufacture. So we're gonna have up those material costs is roughly 385, which also includes my employer's expense. So the employee expense is 60 bucks, and the material is the difference. Also, if I want to see how are the costs, for example, for 100, I could calculate this here as well, and then the system just gives me those numbers updated based on the information the system has. Perfect. So let's jump back to our manufacturing order. As mentioned, yeah, we don't have anything on stock. So let's go into our inventory and go to our replenishment. Here, the system is basically telling us what we need to order. So here again, you see most of the components we need for our manufacturing order. Just the aluminum is missing since we already have that on stock. So the system is directly telling us what we need to order. I put everything to min-max 00, so we only order what we need. But of course, we could put here a value and then have a safety stock as well, which helps to to close any bottlenecks you have. In this case, let's keep it simple. So we're just gonna order everything. I go here, replenish, order, and the system automatically generates a purchase order for me. So if I now go back into purchase, you will see here we have one purchase order for the supplier. I go in here and we get lucky, all our components we are able to purchase from the same supplier. So again, we have here the whole list of everything we need to purchase. We could still change here a couple of things or add different products as well, but it looks good for now. So let's confirm this order and receive the products. Yep, we did receive everything. We validated, and now we have the products in stock. So now if we go back to our manufacturing order, we can see here components available, so we can start the production. To do so, there are actually two ways. This is more for the master production planner, but we can directly start a manufacturing order from the manufacturing order. Just start it like this. And then you can see a timer start. So this timer actually tracks the time, in this case, me as the administrator, needed to produce this gas grill, or actually on the drilling station. So the system expects me to take 30 minutes, but since we're going to be quicker, I just mark this as done. And now we just use 21 seconds. Sorry. Also, if we don't like this view, we can open the shop floor. And here, basically, you can see all the operations which are ongoing. So here, I'm logged in at administrator, and it's basically the same thing. So go to the bending station, and I start my production. The timer is now running. Everything seems good. I did my bending, mark as done, and move to the next operation. So this is basically the screen where your employees would be working from. Finally, as you can see here, there's an instruction. So there's something extra I need to do. So let's see what's going on. Oh, check for defects. So let's make sure that there is no defect in our gas grill. Yes, everything looks good. We do need to register the product, meaning we need a serial number for this product to make sure that we have all the information connected to this gas grill. As soon as we have done this, we can mark this as done and close our production. So easy as this, we produced our gas grill. If we now jump back to our sales order, you can see that we now have the gas grill in stock. So we're actually able to deliver this to our clients, validate it, and we're all good, all done. Perfect. Let's come back to our questions. So what does this conclude? With Odoo Manufacturing, we are able to track your complete inventory, so we can see what you have on stock, what needs to be reordered, and we did it manually, but we can of course set this to be an automated process so that you don't even have to check, and that the system will propose purchase orders for you in order so that you're able to ensure timely deliveries. We are also able to produce or plan our production in a timely manner, so we can prioritize different manufacturing orders and schedule them accordingly to make sure that we meet our deadlines. Through quality controls, we always have a way to check our own production and provide the highest quality of products to our clients. Human resources, as well as we saw, the system lets you track the time of your employees in order to be able to report on the performance of the employees to see maybe an employee has a specific way of doing it, so he's especially quick, so maybe the others can learn from him, and you reduce your production time in general. Also for sales, since from the sales screens directly, you can always see what you have in stock, when it's supposed to be arriving, or when the manufacturing order is supposed to be done. You always have those kind of information, and therefore whenever the customer calls, you can say, hey, we're going to be able to provide you the product at day X. So that should work out really great. Well, anyways, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to OBS Solutions. We're glad to help you or go with you through the system with a dedicated demo where you can directly ask us questions, and you have an expert on your side to guide you. Thank you.